Greetings everyone, here's Lodric and this is the game War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is my play-by-email match against KilRoy. He is the commander of the Allied forces and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is now the 15th April 1942 turn and more or less the night and the day after the first true carrier engagement battle between the Allied forces and the Japanese. Before my Japanese carriers are sunk and engaged the Hermes and likely sunk the carrier. But this was a one strike, so it was only my airstrike go out and find enemy carrier and sink them. This was now each other strike, and I was only able to create two 250 kilogram bomb hits. This is not really enough to disable an enemy carrier, but at the same time KilRoy was able to, I think, create 4 or 5 1,000 pound hits on my carriers, and at least 2 carriers are in not more good shape. Good, these are some destroyer minesweeper support destroyers picking up one of my patrol boats. This was more or less like a early detection task force. Unluckily they don't give me enough warning time. But maybe they can lure some surface task forces away. Yeah, my patrol boat tried to escape to Marcus Island, but is not able to. Maybe he can escape, but I'm heavy fire, heavy damage. Unlikely it will work. And there is some task force coming to Marcus Island. So I was lucky enough to finish the loading. My patrol boat go now down. I was only not able enough to escape fast enough. So this carrier battle happened. So this is now my second patrol boat go down, but simply again, they are really only early warning chips, nothing more. The problem is that around Marcus Island there is simply no support base, because Marcus Island I cannot use, it's too dangerous. And I also don't have any aviation support or anything there. So my carriers and my invasion fleet is on their own. I must come to closer to Japan to get the air cover. So this is a 1 AK coming in, going out of Perth. My submarines find and hit it. And he is also one of my, this is my battleship formation. I have here 2 old true Japanese battleships picking up here a convoy out of cargo ships. And a tanker, or 2 tankers also. I mean, all of the ships are normally dead, sunk all. But it's only a civilian cargo convoy. Something what is always good for the morale. So the big question is, can the Americans strike me again? And it looks like that the Americans can detect my carriers. First some air war in China. This is all standard stuff. And yeah, my army units also closing in on Auckland. Yeah, and these airstrikes are not so bad. I mean, for the numbers of airplanes KilRoy have, they can create some damage and they for sure slow me down. Oh. So no airstrike on my amphibious task force and also not on my carriers. Again, my carriers was damaged and not in good shape, but still all 4 carriers was able to launch airstrikes or cap fighters. So of course I am not more able to launch my own strike force bombers, dive bombers, torpedo bombers. I simply only keep my zeros up and try to intercept any incoming airstrike if there's someone coming. Now my priority is only bring my carriers in my amphibious assault group back to Japan. Try to sneak into cover. Once I'm 14-15 hexes from Tokyo away, my land-based zeros can give me long-range cap. And also my Nell and Betty bombers can make torpedo runs. Of course, very dangerous. Because of course Betty bombers and Nell bombers will be easy killed if there's no escorting zeros with them. Good. I also use some small task force to clean up here the southern bases of Rangoon or Burma, south of Rangoon. Most important, no carrier strike on, or no airstrike on my carriers, so that is already a relief. This British Space Force also will now retreat now. They don't surrender directly. Picking up here the Dutch forces or Dutch bases. So, luckily this turn had simply really no big event. The big event was only that my battleships picking up an enemy cargo convoy at Perth and nothing else. Because there was no big airstrike and there was also no air losses, only my small air losses over China, wherever. And I hear no sinking sound on my side. I mean, this is the cargo ships go down, this I know for sure. I lost my 2 patrol boats, this I also know for sure. This submarine, I don't know, I hear no special sound for this. But it's, yeah. So, 2 tankers, medium tankers, nothing too big. But every tanker I can kill now, the Allies cannot ship fuel or oil in the future. Yeah, still on my way to Yan'an, but not arrived there. I take now these 2 bases in the south, so I have here the option that I can maybe, if I want, unload here additional forces and then walk up this highway. At the same time, my Thai force is trying to walk the small road, so this is of course much faster, but I don't have troops ready for this, so I can only take the bases, nothing more. But I must take Mole Mine and I need the connection here over the mountains to get more supply flow into Burma for my forces. Java Sea is all fine, no enemy submarines more. I picked up this one convoy ship here. Now KilRoy knows that I have here surface ships, so I don't know what I will stay. And maybe I will stay here a little longer, or if I will see how I use my battleships. This engagement consumes some of my supplies, shells. So it's a little waste to hunt cargo ships with battleships. To be honest, battleships consume a lot of fuel and also the shells are expensive. heavy cruisers are much more suitable for this kind of job normally. I try to take one unit and come behind this New Zealand forces and maybe cut their line of supplies. This is here the highway. This is a slow road. So if I can maybe take this base, then all of these New Zealand forces are out of supplies. But I don't know how much forces KilRoy have here in New Zealand. We will see. Nothing around Tulagi, nothing around Gilbert Islands or Marshall Islands. Wake is now not more interesting for me. I must call back my submarines. They're too dangerous. Because I call now every submarine to Marcus Island to help my forces to escape. And maybe one of the submarines is luckily enough to find the enemy carriers and get one torpedo inside. And this will simply slow KilRoy down. And let me maybe achieve to escape. I only try to run to Ishijima, because in Ishijima more or less I have an airbase. And I bring here all my dive bombers first, because I cannot use them. And I need space. And I bring, I thought if I'm correct, I don't know more exactly how I did it, but I think I bring some additional fighters, I think, to the other carriers. Or I only empty everything what I can empty. Maybe. But I will also bring some fighter forces to Ishijima, so that I maybe next turn, if I arrive in Ishijima, then I have local cap fighters protecting my task forces. I have a detection, but not too high detection. And I don't see KilRoy at all, so I don't know where he is. I only know that Marcus Island is already low on supplies and still have some damage. So I only let this Navy Guard units back to have at least some kind of resistance, so that not KilRoy can take easily the base. He must bring in also forces to overcome me, and this maybe give me more time. Now I have, of course, the issue that I have my battle cruisers out of action. They are all under repair. Some more or less. So 2 of my battle cruisers are more or less longer time out of action, and Congo and Hiei is maybe 2 weeks to fix them. Now I have 2 carriers, also need at least 2 or 3 weeks to fix them. So with the next 2 weeks I will have not much fighting power here. So maybe first in May I can create a new task forces ready to go on against 4 enemy carriers. This is why I will more or less say, okay, I stay now put, try to defend and use my submarines. And if I 1 or 2 lucky hits with my torpedoes, this will maybe change the course of balance of power in this stage of the war, in this area. Good, thank you all, see you next time, take care, bye bye.